Hello, this episode of Solo Camino is Yucatan, the city of Merida. First I had to get out of Houston, and this was the line for security at Houston. If you notice, this is in the baggage claim area, and I had to wait through all this and then make it up the escalators just to the departure area where you normally get your ticket, and this was the wait to get through that area. It was a 3-hour wait just to get to the security area. I was appalled. I was lucky. Danielle and Jeremy, who was behind me in line, they were there for 5 hours and missed 2 flights. I got ahead of them because I used Clear. And this was the rest of the line. But eventually, after about an hour and a half, even using Clear, I got through the line. I arrived in Guadalajara, and Eduardo and I went out to get taquitos at a local place. This was my plate before, and this was my plate after. He did a pretty good job on his as well. The next morning I heard the ringing of cowbells, only to realize it was the local garbage men. I even got a wave. I got up, videotaped them. I really had a good time seeing them. Never saw anybody do it that way before. Then I watched Saturday morning TV in Mexico with Eduardo's mom. I was rather shocked that this was what was on the TV, on Guadalajara TV in Mexico on Saturday morning, and that his mom was watching it. It was funny. I couldn't believe it. I never quite did understand it. Eduardo got off work and we headed to the airport. We had a nice taxi ride, and then we pulled into the Guadalajara airport. And this is the nice new airport they have. It's been built since I've been going down. And this was the security line to get through at the airport. No wait whatsoever compared to the one in Houston. We got on a bus, and then something I really enjoy doing, we had to climb the stairs to the airplane. And I, for some weird reason, really enjoy climbing the stairs. At this point, Eduardo was sort of tired of me videotaping everything. And then we were off. Those are the mountains surrounding Guadalajara, which sits in a valley. First time I got a good picture of them. And then as the plane began to climb, I was able to get a good picture of Lake Chapala. This is the largest natural lake in Mexico. It's about an hour. And this is the tallest mountain in Mexico, Pico de Orizaba. It was night by the time that the airplane landed, and we were in Merida, Mexico. Eduardo and I got our bags put up, and we went out to see the city. This was one of the city centers, and we got to see a mariachi band. I always love seeing mariachi bands in the wild, as I say. And then we went and had, as you see, a marquesas. I have the worst trouble with pronouncing these. Marquesas, which is basically a crepe that's rolled up, and it has Parmesan cheese. Effectively, it's a Mexican cheese, but effectively Parmesan. And they sometimes put other things on it here. They're putting sweetened condensed milk, and then after it's cooked, they'll roll it up, put a little bit more on there, and give it to us. I got to say, neither Eduardo or I were fans of them. This was the only one we had. Well, we had 2. We had this one, and we had one with Nutella on it. The sweet and salty flavor just didn't work for Eduardo and I. I mean, it might have been for other people. I think most people enjoy it. We didn't. It was a unique flavor that neither one of us cared for. But you gotta try, and sometimes you learn that you don't like the local speciality. The next morning we got up to see the city, and we found this beautiful flower. I thought it was so pretty. And then I looked at it some more. I just thought those petals were just gorgeous. So pretty I couldn't even put it down on the ground. I had to find a place to put it, so I put it in somebody's gate. I didn't think anybody get mad at me doing that. Then we were off to Parque La Plancha. Parque La Plancha was an old train yard. Plancha means the roundhouse, or the table, the spinning table. And this is a huge covered jogging path. I'd never seen anything like this before. It was beautiful, and it looked very immense. And it's a gorgeous park. There's a lake in it and a mercado. We went and had breakfast, and we were served by one of the best waitresses and waiters I'd ever had in my life. His name was Eric, and her name was Denise.
Eric?
They were amazing. I gotta say, I made Eduardo sit in these chairs. They're like couple chairs. They're iconic to Merida. And then I actually wanted the picture of what I thought was the prettiest McDonald's I'd ever seen in my life. I thought that was really nice. Then we went and saw the Mayan monument that was in the north of the city, the monument to the Mayans. I was sort of disappointed it had so much graffiti on it, but it was an incredible monument. Then we went to the Museo de Mundo de Maya, a statue of a Mayan. And this is the monument. Out front they had a little miniature pyramid. This is the sabo tree, which is sacred to the Mayans, and that is the museum that is in the form of the sabo tree. And as we get closer, you'll see, now you can really see the effect of the tree, how the museum looked like a tree. I thought it was cool, very interesting. When you go in, there's this monumental entrance, which I was again impressed with. And then you begin to see this pattern of the tongues with the Mayan people. Apparently their leaders would have their tongues pierced in the blood offering. Instead of sacrificing humans, the leaders would pierce their tongues. Here you see it again, piercing their tongue and the blood coming out into a plate. These are two gods that held up the world. I thought they were the two brothers in the ball game. It's a long story with them. More Mayan gods and rulers, small, but look at the quality and the detail. I just thought that was so impressive. Monumental. Here is the serpent. I was so impressed with that. And I was surprised by this. It's a turtle carving at the top of a column, very the same way we have Corinthian and Ionic. They had turtles. A statue of a bird. And this is the famous goal for the ball game, the Mesoamerican ball game. Eduardo, I made him stand in the middle. This is the reclining man, where he's holding a plate on his stomach, and that was been for sacrifices and offerings. My opinion is that, yes, it's again an offering for the Mayan kings to split their tongue and to let the blood come from the tongue and be the offering. This is how we know some of that. This is a codex. This is a Mayan book, one of the few. I think there's 7 or 8 left. Unfortunately, the Catholic Church destroyed most of them as being pagan. But some people today can actually read this language. It is so impressive that people can look at those hieroglyphics and read them. That just amazes me. And these books were beautiful pieces of artwork. They were actually saved by people and hidden from the Catholic Church as part of their ancestry. The Mayan Museum also has the beautiful embroidery done by the Mayan people. You'll see these dresses all over Merida. I was just impressed with it. Here's a wedding gown, it's a wedding gown, but it's also a saint. I thought that was really nice. But unfortunately, the museum did also have images of how the Mayans depict their own suffering at the hands of the conquistadors and other people throughout the history of Mexico and Mesoamerica. And then we walked back to our Airbnb. This is a general street in Merida. I just thought those houses were really pretty. Average street, and really what I was getting a picture of was the truck with the camper on it. I thought that was so cool, that fiberglass camper on that truck. Well, we'll see you next week, and that will be the pyramids in the Yucatan. Thanks for watching.